I was able to talk to the AP and find out what was going on with this conversation here with Barack and Obama. And it just so turns out that Barack was adamantly telling Obama that, I don't need social media. And of course, Obama was replying to him and said, "Are you kidding me?" And this is something that a lot of people that I encounter in the pharmaceutical and biotech industry almost have to take the side of Barack over here, to make sure I don't confuse their names. Their names are a little similar sometimes. And that's why today's topic is social media. Is it your friend or foe? And then also how we can use it in the future as well. And so what I hope to engage is when eventually when I talk some other time and ask people how many people are using social media in their organization, be it a patient organization or a company, that all your hands will go up. Most of the time I see this, kind of a little, maybe something like this. And then of course there's a lot of the, whoops, did I go too fast there? Then there's a lot of people, of course, at the end that say, no way, Jose, I'm not going to use it at all. And there's reasons for that, but the main reason are these people here. And notice how they're just kind of sitting and waiting. There's no signs, they're not demonstrating, they're not angry or anything like that. And the reason being is this is your target audience. These are the stakeholders that you want to talk to. And they're waiting for you there on social media. And they're willing to help you along the way. They're going to do work for you. So in order to get them, you need to start becoming more familiar with a lot of these social media tools that are out there. But of course, a lot of you have also encountered these people here. And of course, this might look like people that might be in a back alley, but I'm using them to represent the regulatory authorities, right? We all have nightmares of these people because they don't set any rules out there. But at the same time, they put handcuffs on you and cover your mouth. It's the only industry in the world where people are doing so much good, but at the same time, you're not allowed to tell anybody anything about what you're doing. And it's just not fair. But there are ways you can use social media to communicate what you are doing and find the resources that you need as well. And to do it so you don't get in trouble with those people that you're going to see in the back alley. And of course, when you see, this is you, of course, when you see the regulatory authorities and talk with them, you're hiding behind your computer. So today's focus, what we're going to talk about is, when I use social media, should I do in-house or outsource it? Also coming up with a strategy of how to face that. And then also working with different tools, because there's a lot of tools and resources out there that you can use to strengthen your social media efforts, and then of course avoiding the regulatory authorities, and of course using social media not only to survive but thrive, because that's what you want. And in no other sector within pharma and biotech do you need social media more than here, because it drives down your costs and allows you to reach out to the people that you need to be in contact with, whether it be patients, patient organizations, KOLs, or potential partners for drug development as well. So the first topic, in-house or outsource. I hope that's clear enough for you. You can use outsourced companies to educate you and to bring you up to speed on some of the topics, but don't turn your social media over to them. You can have them develop the graphics and everything like that, but you need to find the people in-house, and we'll talk about that then manage that afterwards once it's set up. And the reason being is because you have the experts in-house. You also have a lot of tacit information that can be lost that you want to keep track of. There's also competitive intelligence that you have that you'll need to keep track of. There's also the speed issue. If you have another layer of approval processes and different things like that, that only makes it a non-realistic feel with the people you're engaging with social media. And then also the freedom to be able to change and adapt, because social media is changing and adapting really quickly, so you need to be able to have that as well. So a lot of times you might hear about, kind of in the media, we're talking about these social media gurus. So how do you find these people? So of course you can go out and recruit them, and of course you're going to, it often comes up how and where. Well, so you might not want to turn to Monster, you can, and different things like that, but you get 10,000 people showing up, oh yeah, I've been doing it all my life. The better thing to do is to create like a campaign for them. where you ask them to come up with the creative solutions or different things like that. And look for them using social media as well. Those are some of the more effective ways to find them if you're going to recruit. The other way is you have actually in-house, you have the people already, you might just not know it. And so what you can do is kind of look at, maybe if you have a smaller company, you can look at some of their pages or have human resource, look at some of the people who use social media responsibly and know how to use it within your company, and then approach them. You can also do internal campaigns to see who comes up with the most creative solutions as well, and then bring them on board on the team that you want to employ for this. And this one can be fun because the internal campaigns can also help you develop a social media society within your company or your organization. And then another key one that I really like is focus on the people who ask questions, that are curious people. Because a lot of times when you're an entity like a patient organization or a company, or even if you're a KOL, you feel like you have all the knowledge, right? Well, out in the social media world, the people that you want to engage with, you need to be able to learn from them, and you're going to learn so much from them. So if you can find people within your organization that have that ability to ask the right questions, to instead of speaking, think first and then ask questions to gain even more insight and information, you'll be all the more successful, and you'll be able to engage more people in the social media world a lot better as well. And then as a last result, if you're the smallest biotech company in the world and you're working out of your home, whatever, use your teenagers. Send them an email, write the different things that you want posted. It'll be up like that, and before you know it, they'll be coming back with you questions. Okay, Dad, or Mom, this guy's coming back to me and he wants to know how he can participate in your trials and what should I answer and different things like that. And soon, you'll have to employ your son or daughter and different things like that. And you may be laughing at me, but I'm serious. They'll do it 10 times better than these gurus that are out there that have been doing it supposedly for 10 years and whatnot. So when you get started, what you don't want to do is take on all the different social media tools that are out there at once and throw them in a pot and see how you can do it, because what you'll end up getting is a mess. So what you want to do is throw in one at a time. Maybe start with Twitter, start with what I often tell people now, which one is really good to work with is Google+, because it allows you really to focus into small different groups and keep certain things private, and you can really drill down things into specific categories. Facebook, you might want to. Did I hit a node? I get a node. Facebook, a little people are apprehensive to use that now because you can't turn off your boards and different things like that, which can cause problems with adverse events. But throwing in one at a time and analyzing, adapting, learning, and growing is the process, because there is no set guidelines of how to use social media out there, even if people will tell you there is. So moving to a strategy, what I often tell people is to work on a rotation basis. So after you've done your internal search within your company or outside and you have those people, don't employ one person who's full-time there. That person might be sick and might be gone. The one, you get a lot of different perspectives by using a lot of different people on how to answer, how to engage people, how to find more people, what resources you need to use. The others, you can create competition between those people. And the key one is you have the redundancy, so there's no downtime, as I spoke about, and you can create a team environment on that. The main thing to also remember with your strategy is you have to give to get. This isn't, don't let PR take over this, because PR will just be like feeding, we got to get this message out, or we got to get this message out there. And then people are just like, this is just another PR tool that the company's using or the organization's using and different things. This is a way for you to engage with people. And that's the thing to remember. The best way to get people to break down those walls is to give, to serve people. So remember that. And you can do that through information, just promoting what they're doing. Even if you're the smallest company, you have a company title. And if you're going out there and there's a patient organization, they have an event, and you're retweeting that event or posting that event on your site, they're just going to be out of their mind. They're going to They're going to tell all their friends, did you just see that? X company just posted on my event and different things like that. And then they've told all their friends about you, and then everybody else knows about you as well. So that's, again, remember, give to get. You can try viral marketing campaigns and different things like that, but again, people come, and it's not really the type of people that you'll actually want to access at the end of the day, especially in this environment. The other is, contribution rewards for those that actually help other people. So as there's questions in the communities, as people were talking about, if there's other people that are answering people's questions, you can actually reward them at the end of the day with different rewards. And that's another way to draw other people into your community as well, because a lot of people like to be experts, right? They like to be know-it-alls, and plus a lot of people like to get rewards for what they know. And these are some of the things that you can do. One, you can spotlight, have physicians and researchers come in and talk about your disease topic, which is the third one, or fourth one down there. You can spotlight a patient organization for a week on your site and have them come in and talk and different things like that. So there's a lot of ways, again, to give, to get, and engage those people. And then continuing with the strategy is whatever you do, if you're going to use social media, don't use your company's name, and don't use we. You need to allow the people to be empowered enough to say, I, and talk in the first person and engage with those people. Because, again, when you say company or patient organization and start talking in that way, again, you're putting out a wall up there again. And you're not going to be able to engage with the people. So don't do that. Because, again, and these are some of the things that I forgot to hit the button. So people engage with people, not with entities. And again, it allows for the real dialogue, as I was talking about. And then you're going to need to prepare an SOP. And this is going to be something you're going to want to keep away from your legal group or any legal people, because it's going to change often on a weekly basis as you meet, as maybe for a meeting to discuss things like this. And again, it doesn't need to be legal procedures and different things like that. It's bullet points, simple things. These are the different things, because that's how people who use with social media think. If you go on social media sites, for their policies and different things like that, they have short little bullet point things, not long things that take up 3 or 4 pages and stuff that legal people wrote. So with your SOP, again, you're going to want to emphasize to the people on your team the power of the question, as we talked about earlier. You're also going to want to have an escalation policy. It does happen. Again, reminding people what is allowed and what is not allowed, what is bad and good when you're engaging people on your social media sites. You're going to have ranters. As you engage people and have a realistic conversation with them, they will also help you get rid of the ranters. And of course, you'll have to delete their comments. And there might be, you also need a lockdown state where you kind of define and talk about a group where at what point in stage are we just going to shut down the site for a while until we can manage things. That usually doesn't happen, especially if you're a personable and honest and open company, but you need to think about it anyways. And of course, then establish the content. Where's the content going to come from? How that can be contributed as well. And then what social media apps are you going to use? Like Cloud for doing your statistics, that one's free. There's also things like Hootsuite, which once you get up to managing 4 or 5 social media sites, Hootsuite, you can plug them all in there, and you can navigate all those different... I'm finding the nodes. Then you can navigate all those social media sites at once. Then, if you're still not ready to branch out to the other things, what you can do is start internally with what I call, and are evolving quite fastly, more professional network solutions. One is Get Real Health. And again, it allows you internally to share resources, to project manage it, and to gain the experience of using social media in a professional setting. And these are extremely useful tools, especially for organizations that are scattered all over the place, where you have different little satellites managing clinical trials, managing researchers, and different things like that scattered throughout your company. This allows you to bring everything together. So now you might think, okay, now I'm ready to take the jump, right? Let's go into social media. But then again, you're at your desk and you think about those regulatory people again, right? And you get a little nervous. So let's take some time to talk about the regulatory officials. These are some of the points that you can work on. Again, is refer to published studies. refer to other sources, what patient organizations have put out there, or vice versa. And again, like we talked about, promote your target audience. You don't even really have to talk about yourself. Just talk about other people. Just by talking about other people, your patients, you talk about researchers, physicians. You want to work with them? Talk about what they're studying. Help them out. If they're trying to, if a physician's trying to recruit for a clinical trial or something that's going on, you'd love to work with that KOL, start talking about it, promote them. And they'll be like, wow, and they'll learn about your company, because that's how people, especially if you retweet things and repost things, because that's the way people can follow that and see who's using your, with the different tools, you can see who's putting your information out there. And then, of course, you can use kind of a social market research tool, like what we do with Orphan here. So we set up in Facebook rare diseases. This is kind of managed by us, but we don't influence it at all. And it's fun to watch, to see how the rare disease community, different fans and different people come in and just interact. Patient organizations, physicians come in here, and researchers as well. So you can try out similar strategies with things that reflect maybe a brand or a drug or a disease that you're working on. And another way is kind of an indirect path. And so if you're not interested in what I was just talking about and setting up like a site that's called Rare Diseases or a specific disease, you can kind of use an indirect path. And this is kind of similar to what a company called Icon, who's also did with the Michael J. Fox Foundation, which I'll talk about in a couple of slides. And of course, this is again our industry here. This is what the world does to the pharma and biotech industry. It's not fair. It's asinine, if you ask me. We should be able to talk about things more freely. But that's the nature of the beast right now. But it will change with social media. So what Icon did with the Michael J. Fox Foundation is set up through pharma money and also private money, working with the foundation. They were able to identify a communication strategy with patients, doctors, and also university, where they were able to communicate about clinical trials, about different studies that were going on, and different research, different tools that were, and different training programs as well, as new products are coming out and new research tools are coming out. So all these things, of course, at the end of the day, give you the ROI at the end back to the company and the different investors. And so there was a multiple kind of layered process that was set up with this. And what they were looking to do is, of course, one of the main goals of this was to increase clinical trial participation, which we've talked about today with different types of registries, is one to, of course, locate patients, and then also drive them to the right places that they need to be to participate in the clinical trials. And they were able to set up the main website, where you have different information that's being posted on a daily basis. Then this information is then driven to the different social media websites like Facebook. And then both of these, again, help drive people to the clinical finder, kind of the study finder site as well, where people can log in and see if they qualify for a clinical trial. And again, these are the and what they're able to find is through this participation, they're able to amass very quickly over 50,000 fans and people following through Facebook. Within the first week, they were able to find 500 people for additional clinical trials. The second week, 1,000 people, and so on and so forth. And so for a minimal investment, they were able to have a huge return of investment at the end of the day through social media. And again, now they have more than just Facebook. They use a lot of different resources up there, as you can see, to drive the people. And what it does as well, it's kind of like dropping that stone into water, where you send out that message and the ripples go out, and you're able to find more and more people and attract it that way. So again, maybe to review why you need to take the jump, PR and marketing, and also a PR buffer. Again, if you're engaging with those people and you have a relationship with them out there, they will jump in when you have problems and quiet down the community without you having to do anything. I guarantee you, there's case studies out there already with other companies. The other is, of course, product placement and sales, market access, which, of course, a lot of people are interested in, of course. You're able to quantify your efforts and your return of investment a lot better than traditional marketing and traditional ways of engagement, because there are tools out there to quantify it. You can use it for CI, like Merck did with Sermo. That's owned by them, and they have a huge physician kind of KOL population now at their resources. Regulatory officials. One people I say, if they can do it, why can't you do it? FDA has 7 Twitter sites. What? They can use it and you can't? They're tweeting about you guys. So, and again, recruitment, of course, comes back to a main focus. And this is really the future of computing. Of course, if you look at Google and watch how they've been adapting and building more and more and offering you more and more, if any of you use their tools. Again, what I talk about with Get Real Health is eventually in the future you won't have email anymore, and Get Real Health kind of offers that within a company setting. You don't send attachments, you don't send email anymore. Everything's controlled in projects and discussion threads and different things like that, where you also have social media around it. So and that will be a huge change and a huge development for us in the future. You can, of course, if you're still concerned about social media, you can use us. You can send us your events, your videos, press releases. We have education packets. You can also sponsor different things like that, and we'll take that information that you send us, and then we'll throw it out to the social media. So if you're still apprehensive, you can also, going in on your own, you can try using CheckO Orphan. It's free. That's what we're there for anyone, whether it be a patient organization or a company. We're here to promote you along the way. So again, back to our friend Mubarak, sorry. We have social media, and he's thinking to himself, but I thought I controlled the media. Again, and this is often what you guys are saying to yourself. But I thought I knew all the KOLs, my potential partners, investors, and different things like that. That when I talk to people out there, I often I don't tell them what I do, that I know things about social media and different things like that. I'll often ask people, do you use social media? And they say, no, I know who I need to work with. You don't. You don't. A case in point is talk to Hans about Marise. If you guys haven't talked to Marise, this is a classic example. You will find people like Marise out there who actually talked to this conference last year, and they will change your company. They will change how you're able to bring things to the market. So don't be like Mubarak. And because of this, I often emphasize this study by Ernst & Young. There's no direct correlation that they were able to find here, but 80% of scale companies did not use social media, whereas 70% of the companies that are successful did use social media. So you can draw your own conclusions. They didn't dig down deeper and drill down deeper into that, but there is something there. And again, this is in American culture. This is someone who's quite famous. Paul Revere. Sorry to all you British people, but he was the one who ran through the streets and driving through the streets that said, "The British are coming. The British are coming." And people often talk about that, but the efficacy of Paul Revere was because he was already a social networker. He established relationships of trust already in his community. And so when he went running through the town, people knew that when he said something, it was true. So again, be a Paul Revere and reach out to your community and establish that trust, establish that open dialogue, and you'll get people to follow you and to react when you call, like what happened with Paul Revere. And now, so last time we were standing on the cliff and you were ready to jump, and you weren't too sure, right? There were some things that were scared. So hopefully with this presentation, we've been able to put this lifeline on you here so that you're a little more secure with social media. And I really hope you'll take the opportunity to use social media to really improve the efficacy with which your company can develop products and also use the world to work for you. So thank you very much for your time.